Hello, good evening from the Look East Late team. Detectives in Peterborough say they're closing in tonight on an armed robber thanks to the extraordinary intervention of a have-a-go hero. In a series of pictures taken when the attempted robbery started to go wrong, one of the raiders is seen with a handgun. Next, they show the moment a passerby decided to tackle the man with the gun. Joseph Hall has been in Peterborough following this story. The government says benefit fraud costs the country £1.5 billion a year. The anti-fraud squad sift through hundreds of cases every single week. Then they've got to decide which ones to investigate. That decision is often made on the amount of money at stake. The anti-fraud squad's job is to find things that just don't fit, anything that raises suspicion. Most of the work is actually done at the computer, looking through personal data, things like bills and taxes, anything that gives them a profile of the person. And some people would say it's rather dodgy to be talking about what I would do on Friday if I was your Prime Minister when it's so inconclusive at the moment. And opposition leaders, by tradition, even though tradition has been thrown out of the window with this election, never talk about a victory before it actually happens. They think it's bad luck. And I would suggest probably in this case he's talking a little bit too soon. The great thing about this election is we haven't got a clue what's going to happen.
Well, could I suggest act the part and you'll be treated as if you are the part?
That, well, from a marketing perspective, I would say that that's a very, very fair point. And he's come out and he has said, if I was your Prime Minister, which is very emotive, if I was your leader.
Yes.
And I think some people will be seduced by that. Good evening from Look East. There's been angry scenes from protesters in Milton Keynes tonight as the council votes on cuts of £27 million. Our reporter Fatima Manji was outside the council buildings earlier and sent this report. The big thing about this is that lots of people have become quite interested in geography and volcanoes, and I was swatting up last night all about volcanoes, and the pronunciation of, if you looked at this just in terms of words on a piece of paper, it would read as I Jaff Jail A-J-O cool, right? That's wrong, right? I'm going to impress you now, okay? Ivazuka th. And don't forget the th on the end, which is Icelandic.
So that's the name of the volcano that's causing all this mischief.
Here's what I don't understand. Right, so the plumes come out and they elevate to 30,000 feet where airplanes fly. Right. Why don't we just fly the airplanes at 20,000 feet or 15 or 500 feet?
Eamon, I can answer that.
Why?
Because if you fly an aeroplane at a lower altitude, you have got a higher pressure, so the resistance to the aeroplane is even more, which means it burns more fuel, so it can't go a greater distance. And so therefore, it's more economical to fly at a higher altitude rather than a lower altitude, because the plane wouldn't be able to go so far.
But it could go, but it would just cost them more. So it could get me back to Belfast. That's no time at all.
No, but you've only got a certain amount of fuel on board, Eamon.
Yes, but we can go to Belfast, for goodness, if we could jump to Belfast.
Oh, get a ferry.
Yeah, or get a ferry.
We're up to Holyhead tonight, this one.
In the good old days, the puppy is what everybody wanted as a pet. But, my little canine friend, your days are numbered. Because the brand new must-have celebrity-endorsed accessory is now the Micro Pig. Gillian Robb, who lives in Cambridgeshire, brought her Micro Pig, Pepper, as a house pet. Oh, look at these pictures of Pepper. She's gorgeous, isn't she?
Isn't she lovely?
How funny. And how much did she weigh there?
Oh, not very much. I could lift her very, very easily and she'd snuggle in your arms. But you can see how small she is by my foot. So I'm only a size 4 shoe.
She's tiny.
And she's tiny.
Right, do you know what? I really want to meet Pepper.
Well, let's go meet her. She's lovely. You love her. Everybody loves Pepper. When Pepper first came, we brought her home in the cat basket.
In the cat basket?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Okay, and she was going to grow to this big.
Yeah.
By this big, so she was actually going to live with the dogs inside the house.
So very much so a Micro Pig.
Oh yeah, she's a house pig.
Okay.
Okay, but you'll see, she's in bed at the moment, but she'll come out because she's very friendly. So there you go. That's my little Micro Pig.
Gosh. Crumbs.
Yeah.
She's not so micro, is she?
She's not, is she?
She's a big
lovely.
girl. But you said to me that she was only meant to be knee-high.
Yes.
Right, that's the way her snout is up to now. So she's about roughly the size of a Great Dane, isn't she?
She is, but a lot heavier, obviously. I think she's about 250, 300 pounds, maybe.
But what interested me was the fact that they actually managed to keep the original text, and it worked very well with this new narrative. And I was quite surprised by that, because I thought they'd have to change things around and move it on a little bit. The first half, I agree with you both, was actually quite funny, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought, I'll get to the interval, I'll have an orange juice because I want to concentrate on the text. Unfortunately, I never quaffed a Pinot Grigio fast enough, because by the end of it, I was starting to get bored, and it had lost what I really wanted Romeo and Juliet to be, because I wanted to believe in the characters.
So you wanted more passion?
I wanted far more passion, and we just saw it in the clip there when they kissed. It was very stuttery, there was no passion. I'm not saying I want full-on snogging on the stage, but I want to really believe in them.
Planet Red Ed.
Now, I love this. Now, right, I'm going to give this a go, OK. Now, in France, this is Red Ed. He's been dubbed Red Ed here by the popular papers right the way across Europe and indeed the world. He's going to continue with that title of being Red Ed. Of course, this is Ed Miliband, who is the new Labour leader. In France, they're calling him Ed Le Rouge. In Germany, De Rote Ed. Have I got that right? In Spain, Ed El Rojo. Rojo. And it goes on. I'm not even going to try the Greek because that's impossible.
Well, I think that gets the prize for the Scrabble competition politics prize.
Go on, Mark.
Cocky-view Evd, I think.
There'll be a lot of reaction to that decision tomorrow morning on BBC Three Counties Radio from 6 a.m. Fire crews have been tackling a large barn fire in Walgrave in Northampton. It started this afternoon. The latest is the incident is still ongoing, with 2 fire appliances in attendance keeping a watching brief. The fire is mainly hay and has destroyed the barn. Viewer Mark Sutton, who lives by, earlier shot this footage and sent it in to BBC Look East.
More people.
Who is to blame here? I think that's the big issue. And
Well,
I would
we're
say,
not.
well, no, but I would say that it's the bureaucrats in the council who are pushing their agenda, and they think that they may offend someone. But they think they may offend somebody. They're not actually offending anyone, and it's pandering towards a kind of right-wing agenda in this country, which is ridiculous. Now, a quick word of caution to those who take a shortcut to work across Cambridge in the morning. People have been using the unopened Cambridgeshire busway as a path or cycle lane. The County Council says vehicles will be running on the route this week to test traffic signals. The signals give priority to buses at road junctions and are triggered by sensors. It means that unsuspecting cyclists may well have to pedal for their lives. Literally. I'm going to leave you with the weather tonight. A dry start, but the risk of some light rain developing later, possibly bringing icy road. Minimum temperature down to 0 degrees, freezing. Tomorrow, a cloudy and misty start with some rain, but becoming brighter later with some sunshine. Temperatures going up to a far more respectable 4 degrees. Newsnight is underway on BBC Two, having an in-depth look at the ongoing story in Luton. But from me, good night.